fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today with this week's WIP and Chat. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. WIP, W-I-P, stands for Work in Progress, and this is my work in progress. You are welcome and encouraged to go grab whatever project it is that you are working on and work alongside while I chat, or alternatively, you can treat this like a podcast. Either way, welcome. So before I dive in, if you could do a couple of things for me, if you could smash that like button, that helps me out a lot, and hit that subscribe button, that helps me out even more. And if you're so inclined, you can hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of any future uploads. Also, I would love to see you in my Facebook group, or if you'd like to follow the Facebook page, you can follow the link, find the link for those both down below, or you can follow me over on Instagram. I am at diamondpaintinganonymous over there. Would love to see you. So I am beginning this work in progress. This is for my event DP for Vets, which started November 1st. I have already finished a couple of small projects. If I remember, I will put pictures over there. I did a small journal with some American flag stuff on it, and then I did an American flag bookmark. So just a few little projects for me to jump in because I'm still trying to finish up some other things, but I'm going to be starting on this today. And I've seen a couple of you guys posting in the Facebook group and over on Instagram. Don't forget to use the hashtag DP4Vets. That's DP4VETS. And don't forget to join the giveaway. I will have a link to the entry form in the description box down below. So if you haven't already entered your project in the event and you would like to, you can fill that out. I am going to be doing weekly giveaways. We will be having our first one this week, so yay. And then I will have the final prize giveaway after the event ends on the 30th. So remember, you have until midnight, November 30th, to fill out the exit form. The exit form does not open until November 15th. So if you finish a project before then, you'll have to wait until the 15th when I open that form up. Okay, so I think I've got everything. I've got notes, got my timer, got a drink, all the usual stuff, my cat-proof tray, my pens, my canvas, my drills in my favorite little storage. So I think I'm good to go. I'm going to move things around a little bit and zoom in so you guys can see what I'm working on. This is my Diamond Dots American Eagle, which was one of my projects that I wanted to do. This also counts towards my Big 10, which you guys know is one of my diamond painting goals. That's why I elected to do this one first over the poppies. I really want to get to the poppies, but I'm going to do this one first because then that way I can also check off my Big 10 and I get to mark off two things at once. So let me move everything around and I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay guys, let me pick out my first color here. What do I want to start with? I think I will start with, let's start with K's. Where are those? So, a life update. Oh, I think I've had some things going on since I last chatted with you guys. Let's see. I updated my computer. As many of you know, I switched over from a PC to a Mac not long ago. So far, I'm really enjoying it, which gives my husband no end of delight. I resisted for many years, but now that I have all the things, he slowly, you know, I take his hand-me-down phones, which are always iPhones. I've got an Apple Watch, and we finally switched me over to the Mac. And I have to say, there are some things I really, really like about it. Transferring information is seamless. Oh, I also have an iPad. And being able to airdrop things is phenomenal. It saves me so much time just being able to do that over our network rather than me having to go out and find, you know, USBs to transfer information, that kind of thing, et cetera, et cetera. So it's been good. However, something that I discovered about the Mac not too long after I got it was that when I was uploading my YouTube videos, if I didn't tell it otherwise, it would shut down in the middle of it. And I'd never had that happen before. It goes idle after so long, and so if the display would go off, it would idle the computer, and therefore it wouldn't finish uploading my videos, and it was taking forever, and I couldn't figure out what was going on until I finally discovered, I think over on Reddit, what the issue was. So I have to go in and tell it not to turn off my display and not to turn off or make my computer go to sleep so that it uploads my videos as quickly as possible and I can get done and get on with my day. However, with this new update, I used to just go into my settings, and there was one place that I could click both the settings that I needed to fix and be done with it. Now, with the update, they changed the way that all of the settings look and are placed, and so now everything is in two different places. So now I have to go click several different places to accomplish the exact same thing, which is annoying, I have to say. However, it does make me feel better, weirdly, that things seem to be updated pretty regularly. True or not, it makes me feel better that they're keeping a better eye on, not only bug updates, but if there's any viruses or, things out there that people have discovered that would let them, hack your computer or put a virus on it or whatever. Not that I'm doing anything that I should get any of those, but, it's actually been kind of funny too. My husband gets all kinds of emails about, oh, hey, I'm this Nigerian princess and I'll send you $8 million if you'll just send me 60,000 first, blah, blah, blah. Those kind of scams. Or he's even gotten stuff that looks like it's from Google or Amazon saying, hey, log in, something's wrong with your account, blah, blah, blah. If you ever get those, don't do it, because they never send you those kind of emails. Just like the IRS doesn't contact you via email, they mail you stuff. So guys, be aware of scams. Anyway, PSA aside, yeah, it's just annoying. I mean, again, I like that it updates frequently, but also then stuff moves around. And sometimes it's like, why was that necessary? It seemed to be fine the way it was, so I'm not quite sure why that piece of the update was necessary. But I'm not a computer person, so what do I know? Oh, you guys, I've been Christmas shopping. My daughter sent me her list, so I've been looking at stuff for her. And let me see what other color I want to use here. My husband had several things that he wanted, and so we were, I was going through all of those and everything, and I happened to come across some fake nails, and we were talking about in a WIP and chat about, did Lee press-on nails still exist and all that kind of stuff. Well, they do, and I saw some of them, or Amazon was listening to me, and so it popped them up. Anyway, I ended up buying some just to see if I liked them and how long they would last. So I got several sets. Some were less expensive than others. The cheap ones are not great. Let me just tell you that. If you're going to spend money on them, spend a little bit extra. The more expensive ones that I got were nicer. But I discovered that my small hands don't fit 90% of the nails that they send to you. So, I ended up using all of the very smallest ones, and then they were still kind of too big for my nails. So I guess I need to buy children's size ones. I don't know. Anyway, I put them on, and some of them come with the little glue. It's like double-sided tape, I guess, is essentially what it is. Some of them come with that already applied, and so all you got to do is peel off the backing and then press it on. Those I actually liked. it's much less fussing, and it's kind of hard to get some of that double-sided tape kind of stuck because the nails are plastic and they're curved, and yeah, it just wasn't what I thought. And most of the ones that I got were the cheaper ones that were the hard kind of, you know, already formed plastic. I would like to find some of the ones that are more flexible that I could cut to fit my own nails, because that was the other thing, you know, my own nails are long enough that they were showing sometimes, and it just didn't look very good. I didn't think to have them showing underneath, but I'm not going to cut them off because I like my nails. Anyway, and they didn't stay on very long. You know, it says once you put them on and they're set, you should be able to keep them on, and you take them off by soaking them in water. So I'm not quite sure how that works if you shower daily, if they're going to come off in the shower. But I know for myself, just, you know, I would go to grab something, and I would say it's not me used to being used to long nails, but I have long nails. And so yes, they were longer, but not inordinately longer. Like, I wasn't doing the really super long ones. I was doing ones that were about like this. And I kept pulling them off. So I don't know if I mean, and at that point they'd been on for most of a day. So I mean, they stayed on for a while, but not for me to do anything really intensive with. They were not useful for that, but they were pretty. So, you know, maybe if I just wore them for like whipping chats and stuff, that'd be okay. So this, I decided to try and find some non-gel nail polish, because I was, probably about this time last year, I was going out and just buying nail polish, and, you know, that's just really never been something I've done. I don't get manicures on a regular basis. I don't paint my nails really on a regular basis. And so I thought, well, I'll just go buy some nail polish, you know, at Target, whatever. And I got some. Well, almost everything you buy these days is gel nail polish, which I get because the gel is longer lasting. You know, you cure it with the UV light and it stays forever. However, it really screws up your nail. And so I was trying to get away from that. And I purposely went out and was looking on Amazon for nail polish that wasn't gel. And I found some that said that it wasn't gel. So I ordered it. Well, when it got here, it said it was gel nail polish. Now, it's not as thick as the other gel nail polish that I had, so I don't know if it actually is or not. I don't know how to tell. I'm not a scientist or a chemist. And it doesn't say on the actual bottle of polish. It just says gel. Gosh, I can't talk today. On the outside box. So we'll see. When I take it off, that should be an indication of what it's like, and we'll see if I'm going to actually keep it or if I'm going to end up giving it away too, because I don't want gel nail polish. So if you guys know of a brand that isn't gel, you know, let me know. Leave me a comment below and let me know. And I mean, I guess I could try going to a nail salon and asking for non-gel, but I feel like they probably wouldn't have any non-gel polish either, since it wears longer and that's what everybody seems to want. So yeah, didn't work, but we'll see what happens. What else is going on? You guys, the weather around here has been crazy. I am currently freezing, wearing my long sleeves, wishing I had put on a sweater instead of just a long sleeve shirt. I should have known something was up. My husband and I usually sleep with a fan on, either our ceiling fan or we have a fan beside our bed. My husband runs very hot because of his Canadian blood, I always tell him. So he's always warm. And our bedroom is upstairs, so it is warmer than the rest of the house sometimes. And anyway, so we didn't run either of those last night, which should have been a clue to me. And I use an extra blanket because I get colder than he does, and I sometimes kick it off in the middle of the night because I get too warm. Didn't do that last night either. So Friday, my youngest and I did not get to go out for our walk because it was raining, which is great because we need the rain. Everything is so dry. So that was fine that we didn't go. However, it was 85 degrees like Wednesday, I think. And it was like 60 degrees when we went out for our walk in the morning. And yesterday, not only was it raining, it was like 40 degrees outside. And we ended up not going for a walk, but we ended up going shopping because I needed to pick up some groceries. And the temperature was dropping as we were driving to the store. And my husband ended up getting rained out of work because it was raining. And he came home and the temperature had fallen even more. And by the time we had gone to bed, they were saying that we were possibly going to get some snow. Which, you know, the running joke around here is if you don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes. I think that's true in a lot of places. That people say that. I don't know if that's actually true about the weather, but I think people say that in most places. Anyway, we did wake up to a little bit of a light dusting of frost/snow this morning. It burned off really, really quickly, but it is cold today. I mean, Thursday, my husband came home and it was like 75 degrees in the house, which I don't mind because I run cold. But he doesn't like it to get that hot because he gets too hot. And so I said, you know, if you want to turn on the air conditioner. But we hadn't been running the air conditioner because it was cool enough in the evenings, you know, that it was cooling off the house. And so I didn't need to run it during the day. And during the day when he's gone, I'm okay if it's a little bit warmer. My youngest is in the basement, so his is pretty steady no matter what it's doing outside. And yeah, it was just crazy. So, yeah. What else was going on? Oh, you guys. My husband is an electronics hoarder. He doesn't like it when I say that, but he is. We have so many, and you know, I tried to keep it for the longest time to confine to just like one junk drawer. I swear the pieces multiply when I'm not watching. Our entire TV console is filled up with nothing but his junk and cords and old keyboards and mice and plugs that he swears will be useful at some point. I mean, we have a Xbox controller. We don't own an Xbox. We used to, but we don't anymore. So why we have an Xbox controller, I still haven't figured out. It has migrated into, we have end tables with drawers. All of the drawers are full of stuff that he thinks I don't know about. One of our dressers, the entire top drawer, is full of nothing but old cables, old phones, old phone cases, plugs, old headphones. I mean, for goodness sake, there's an old flip phone in there. That's how long he keeps stuff. And that's in addition to the two top totes full of stuff he has out in the garage. And Lord knows, I think there's at least 2 boxes of stuff in the basement. There may be more than that. He thinks he's hiding it from me because he thinks that I think it's full of all of the stuff for his resin printing. It's not. It's full of electronic stuff, and I know that. I think there's some old Nintendo like DS's. There's an old camcorder that doesn't work anymore. That's the crazy thing. If I thought it was useful, that'd be one thing. It's like, this doesn't work and it's broken. Why are we hanging on to it? Anyway, the point is he's an electronics hoarder. He's always after the latest new thing. And so he wanted this TV, this new TV that was going to be so great. And it was on sale for literally almost half off. And he's been bugging me for a new TV forever. And I finally just said, okay, fine. So he went and got it. Even the guy at the store couldn't believe how much it was on sale for. And in fact, he was joking with my husband that he was going to go get one for himself so he could take it home because he couldn't believe how much it was on sale. So we got it, we bring it home. I can't tell the difference. It looks exactly the same to me. He's so excited over it. But then he was bummed because he had to move his sound bar because this TV sits lower than the old one, and so the sound bar that he had was blocking part of the screen. And yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, so he got that. I told him, I just want a TV that, one, works, and two, doesn't have 4 remotes. That's the other thing that drives me crazy. He, gets the TV and he has it, I think our current TV is hooked up to both Apple TV and an NVIDIA Shield, I think is what he's got it hooked up to. We also have a Fire Stick and he's got some other things, and, Lord knows, I just want to use a remote, turn the TV on, and have it run the channels and the volume, neither of which he can seem to accomplish with just one remote. Because we got to have a sound bar, or we've got to have this added onto it, and we've got to have that. And of course, everything has its own remote. I'm like, don't they make a universal remote so we could just have one? Well, they never seem to work. So that's a lot of why I don't watch TV anymore, because I don't want to have to mess with 6 different remotes to find a program to watch. It's not worth it to me. So I just watch YouTube on my iPad. So not only did we get a new TV this week, we ended up getting a new printer. Why, you ask? Well, so about a year ago, it's probably been longer than that, I was going to, actually it's probably been about 2 years now that I think about it, goodness. I was going to open a sticker shop on Etsy and was doing all kinds of things. At the time I was working with our budget. We were trying to pay off a bunch of debts and things like that. And everyone said, oh, if you're going to do that, get an Epson printer. They print the truest color. They work the best, Okay, so I got this Epson printer. That thing could not go to the dumpster fast enough for me. So many things. One, the ink was expensive, like $100 to get all the cartridges. And you had to replace all the cartridges at once. Even if one of them was not empty, it did not like it if my cyan got empty faster than, say, the yellow. It did not like it if I didn't replace all of them at the same time. It would work, but it didn't work very well. And it just seemed really intermittent, and I would have issues. So I just got to the point where every time I replaced the ink, I replaced all of them, because that seemed to get rid of a bunch of the issues. The other thing is Epson updates its firmware all the time, which is fine. But part of the reason they do that is so that you can't buy the cheaper off-brand ink, because their firmware won't recognize it, and then your printer won't work at all. So you had to buy their Epson branded ink or it wouldn't work. And I don't have anything against printer companies making money, but sometimes it seems a little excessive for what you're getting. And then in addition to all of that, half the time I would end up throwing things away, because I would end up with these black streaks of ink. It was an inkjet printer. I would end up with these black streaks of ink across everything I was trying to print out. So it was probably, I think it was the day he bought the TV. He went and got the TV, came home with it, and while he's working on setting up the TV, I was trying to print out stickers that I use in my random acts of kindness. So you guys know I have a cutting machine, and I cut out a bunch of stickers that I use for that. And I had run out, which I hadn't realized. And so I thought, okay, well, I need to print out some more. So let me do that. Like every second page, I was getting these big smears at the bottom. which means that, you know, the stickers along the bottom were then useless because they've got these big smears of black ink on them. And I tried every diagnostic thing that it said to do. I mean, I literally ran every diagnostic on the printer. Cleaning the rollers, cleaning the print heads, aligning the print heads, trying everything that it offered for troubleshooting to try and get it to work. The firmware was updated. I was using Epson ink. And I finally was like, you know what? I'm done messing with this thing. The ink is expensive. I've spent 2 hours now. I'm wasting paper and ink because it's not printing the way it should. And I'm having to toss all of this stuff because it's no good. And what is the point if I'm just wasting supplies? And previous to the Epson, I had a Canon printer. And while it wasn't the, you know, fanciest printer, it worked. I rarely had an issue with it. And, you know, it was an all-in-one, just like the Epson. I could print, I could scan, I could copy. That one, the Canon, was old enough, it actually still had a fax on it. Not that it was ever hooked up to a phone line, because who even has those anymore? But I very rarely ever had an issue with it. And the ink was pretty inexpensive. I mean, ink for the Canon was probably $50 versus the $100 that I was spending. And I was replacing it way less with the Canon. And honestly, in a comparison, because I did a comparison right after I bought the Epson, because we still had my old Canon. My husband was using it on his computer. I couldn't tell that much difference. I mean, yeah, the Epson might have been a little bit brighter, but it wasn't enough that it was worth the hassle. So when I told my husband I wanted to get a new printer, he's like, well, I want to get one of those new tank printers because then we'll buy ink less often, whatever. And I'm like, okay. So he comes and he's like, well, here's this Epson, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, I am not buying another Epson. I don't care how good it is supposed to be. I've been down that road. That's the whole reason we're buying another printer. I'm not getting another Epson. I don't care how good people say they are. It's not worth the headache. So we went and got another Canon. And it's an ink tank. It has an ink tank just like the Epson. And we got it home, got it set up. A little bit trippy because it has bottles of ink. You literally just up in the bottles of ink and fill the reservoirs for all of the CYMK, cyan, yellow, magenta, and then black. And in the Epson, there was a difference between, there was a cartridge for photo black and there was a cartridge for regular black. And I think that had something to do with why it was streaking, but no matter how many times we cleaned the print heads, cleaned the nozzles, cleaned the rollers, nothing worked. And we even tried switching out the ink cartridges, thinking maybe I just got a bad cartridge, and it still did it. So yeah, at that point I was like, I'm done. I'm not messing with this anymore. So we got the new one home, and I will admit I was a bit hesitant. I was like, is this going to be another one that makes me update the firmware all the time and, you know, all this stuff? I had looked, and people had said that you could get the off-brand, less expensive ink, and it works just fine in the tank, because honestly, you're just literally upending liquid ink. I mean, how is a printer going to know the difference between this brand of black ink and this brand of different brand? So it came with the Canon ink, and I haven't used anything else yet, but we got it all set up. Only took about 10 minutes. We'd made sure that it would work with Mac, because there were several printers out there that said they would not. Got it all set up, and within 10 minutes of getting it out of the box, unboxed, the ink in it, set up, did all the stuff on the computer I needed to do to get it out of the printer, boom, I was printing and everything was coming out perfectly. So I printed everything that I needed to get done. I didn't have any annoying black ink smears, so I wasn't wasting paper. And it's been amazing. My only complaint is that it goes into idle. So it will basically turn itself off after it sets for a while and no one is using it. And admittedly, I don't print things every day. My son doesn't print a lot of stuff because his classes are online, so everything gets submitted, you know, as an email attachment or whatever. So he doesn't need to print a bunch of stuff. So I have to remember that I need to go over and push the button just to kind of wake it up before I print something. But that's a pretty minor inconvenience compared to all the headaches that I was having with the Epson. So I am super happy that we got it, even though I spent more money on it than I really wanted to. But it was worth it. And I got all my stickers printed out, so I'm super happy. And he's happy with his new TV, even if it annoys me. Okay. Is that everything I needed to... Woo! Dropped my pen. Is that everything I needed to tell you for... I think that's everything I needed to tell you for my life update. Health-wise, everyone is doing great. Still waiting to hear on our stuff from Canada. My husband was so excited because he got an email and he forwarded it to me. He thought it had something to do with our medical exams because that was the last thing we had done. But it was just an email telling us that they got our payment for the biometrics that we sent in. And I was like, okay, one, we did that like a month ago and we knew we'd gotten it because they'd gotten it because the payment went through. But we get this email and I read all the way through it. And I said, oh, this is just about us paying the biometric fee. And he was so disappointed. Oh, it is? And I was like, well, at least they've gotten to that point. So maybe, you know, in the next month or so, we'll get something about our medical exams and what the next step is. So he's getting kind of anxious to get back up there and be close to his folks again. And his dad just had a birthday. And while he's doing okay, you know, it's another birthday. So, yeah. He's just ready to be back up there. And I, of course, am freaking out about all of the changes that are going to be happening because I don't deal well with change in the first place, and it's going to be a whole lot of new coming at us. But that's also exciting, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so moving on to diamond painting stuff. You guys, DP for Vets is underway. It started November 1st, like I said. I've already seen some really cute pictures people have been posting on Instagram or in the Facebook group. So, you know, if you're not in the group, go find the link down below and join the group. Feel free to post your pics. And it doesn't have to be just for DP for Pets. If you're doing another event or there's something that you want to share, you know, please feel free. I love to see what people are working on. I'm trying to get better about posting myself in there. Still not doing as much as I would like, but I'm trying to get better about it. Like I said, I finished up a couple of projects myself, and now I'm working on this one. And this one is a partial, so it's not going to take me very long. I am, however, still trying to finish up Miss Havisham. I am still not finished with her. So I'm trying to focus most of my diamond painting time on that one, just so I can get it finished. I missed my deadline for Drills and Chills, which is okay. You know, like I said, I wasn't actually competing for prizes or anything anyway, so that didn't matter. I just wish I would have gotten it done before November 1st, but I didn't. So anyway, I'm still working on that one. And then I still have my Craftably Koala that I need to finish. So in between all my DP for Pets or DP for Vets projects, I will be working on Havisham and the koala so that I can get those done for my Big 10. And then that would just leave me my Heaven and Earth designs and my Distracted by Diamonds. The Distracted by Diamonds, I'm pretty sure I can finish. I'm hoping I'm going to have some good diamond painting time during the holidays. My husband's going to be home, which is not usual for the holidays. For Thanksgiving, that will be nice because he does a lot of the cooking. I do the baking, he does the cooking. So while he's cooking, I usually get up early and do all the pies and everything first. That way he has the oven for the afternoon to cook everything else, because everyone is coming to our house for Thanksgiving this year. And he's going to have that whole week off, so he'll be home, and hopefully that will give me some extra diamond painting time I might not have had. And then he's also going to be home during Christmas. He's going to be off for 2 weeks. So the week of Christmas through New Year's, he will be off. And yeah, we'll see what kind of diamond painting I can get in. I really want to make that big 10 goal. And I think I'll get 9 finished, but I don't know if I'm going to make that heaven and earth design. It's a square and it's pretty big, but you never know. And my elbow, that's the other thing that's been killing me. I have a brace and I wear it. Well, I've tried to wear it. I don't know if I'm wearing it wrong, but it's in the way when I go to diamond paint. Even though I'm right-handed and it's my left elbow, the brace gets in the way. The straps, the Velcro straps are on the bottom, and so they get in the way of the painting sometimes, or they snag on stuff. And also, it just doesn't seem to help that much. So I don't know if I'm not putting it on correctly. I don't know. Just hasn't seemed to help as much as I wanted it to. And so I can't sit down and do like a 6-hour stretch like I was doing before without my elbow being almost, if I do that, then I have to take off a couple of days. So I feel like it's easier for me to just do 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours. I don't know. Maybe that's not the answer either, but it's been interfering, so that's kind of annoying. I mean, I guess I could just not diamond paint for a while, but that doesn't accomplish my goals either. Although it may come down to that. I remember my aunt telling me that my uncle had, it wasn't tennis elbow. I think his was his knee, but he liked to play racquetball, and you know, his PT finally said to him, you just need to quit playing. Quit playing for like 3 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever it was, let it heal up and then go back to it and then you'll be fine. But you've got to give it that time to recover. If you keep, you know, get it to where it just feels a little bit better and then you play on it again, it's never going to heal all the way. And I'm afraid that's the situation I've put myself in. I've been doing other things besides using the brace. Like I try not to use my hand on that arm. I try to sit differently. I try to be aware of what I'm doing with that arm so I'm not aggravating it. Hasn't helped all that much, so I guess, you know, whatever. Okay, what else do I need to talk to you guys about? Oh, if you're posting pictures, don't forget to use the hashtag DP4Vets, and you can also tag me, whether that's on Facebook or Instagram. I love to see everybody's photos. I am following the hashtags, but sometimes I miss things. It doesn't always pop up for me the way that it should. So if you've posted something and you want to tag me, feel free. Like I said, I'd love to see the pictures that everyone's doing. I've already seen some really cute projects that you guys are working on, so that's fun. Oh, you guys, yesterday, if you haven't seen it, go check out yesterday's video. I finally shared my updated logbook with you guys, and I'm super excited. I was excited with how it turned out. I feel like it turned out really well, and I'm excited to start using it. In fact, I've already started filling mine out. I was just yesterday or the day before, I was filling out my stash, my updated stash, because I am going to be getting things done out of my stash because I'm actually completing some projects, so that's good. And so I was getting that all set up for next year. And then I was starting my wish list because I have a couple of artists that I really want to do one of their paintings. I just have to decide on which one. And of course, a couple of the ones that I want never seem to be in stock. So I really want to do, there's an artist on Oraloa called Bayonet, and she does a lot of really cute paintings. And she has this whole series of like different countries. She's got like one for Egypt and one for Russia, and she has one for Canada. But the Canada one is always sold out. Every time I go to look, it's sold out. And I don't know if they're just not planning on restocking it, because I signed up to get an email if it ever comes back in stock, and I don't ever get one. So, but I don't know how well those things work either. Like for Oraloa, I had a lot of trouble signing up for their like VIP membership whatever thing. So I don't know, have a lot of faith that they're emailing me when it comes back in stock is going to work. But anyway, that's one of the ones I want. And then there is an artist on Treasure Studios Art called Echo Chernick. I think that's her name. And she does a lot of kind of like Art Nouveau looking type stuff. And it's super cool. And something that I probably wouldn't normally buy for myself just because they're expensive, they're kind of big, and they got to come all the way from Australia. So that's going on my Christmas list. Something from her. And then the other artist I really want, I have one by hers, I haven't done it yet, is an artist over at DIY Moon called Medusa the Doll Maker. I love her style, and there are several paintings of hers that I want to get. So those are going to go on my Black Friday / Christmas wish list, so I can share that. So I was excited to start doing that. And then I can't really fill out anything else on it yet, but I got all my stash filled in there. So until I buy new things, it's updated and ready to go. So that made me feel good. And you guys, okay, so I put it out there for free because, like I said in the video, I really just want it to be something useful for the diamond painting community. And then I just asked people to make donations if you found it useful. So it's out there for free. You can download it. If you haven't seen that video, it was yesterday's video. Go to the channel, check it out. There's a link in the description box below that video that takes you to the file. You can download the PDF. And what I tried to do was make it as useful for people as possible. And that is that, you know, you guys use it how you want. It's in a certain order in the PDF, but don't feel that you have to use it in that order. If it makes more sense to you to put the pages in a different order, it's your logbook. You organize it however it makes sense to you. I put my stash in the beginning, but maybe you want your stash at the end. That's hopefully the usefulness of that is that you can print out the pages and put them however you want. Because you're just downloading the PDF, you can put them in the order you want. You can use the pages that you want. Someone told me that they weren't going to use it because they don't want to track their time. Well, you don't have to track your time. If you don't want to use that page, then just don't print it out. If you want the wish list or the stash pages, but you don't want to use the individual logs because you do that on GemsFlow or somewhere else, cool, great. Use it however you want. I mean, if you don't want to use it, that's fine. I'm not going to be offended. But hopefully I made it as useful as possible for as many people as possible. That was my goal anyway. So having said all that, I just asked people to make donations because I wanted to put it out there for free so that people could have access to it, because I know this can be a very expensive hobby. And for people who don't have a lot of disposable income, just the paintings alone, you know, can take up what little they have to spend. And, or, you know, maybe you're just frugal and, you know, you can buy a $3 sketchbook and do everything that you want to do rather than buying a fancy logbook. That's cool too. You know, whatever makes sense to people and whatever makes you happy. I mean, I firmly believe that's the joy of diamond painting, right? Is that the point is to make yourself happy. If you're not happy doing it, then why are you doing it? I mean, I've turned this into a hobby / business, but make no mistake, if it gets to the point where this is more of a slog for me than you know, and I don't get any enjoyment out of it, I'll stop doing it. There are so many benefits of it to me. And one of the things that I get enjoyment out of in the hobby is doing things like the logbook and putting them out there for hopefully people to use. So I hope that I accomplish that goal. And then I just asked people if you found it useful and you were willing to make a donation, that would help me defray some of the costs for the 12 Days of Christmas giveaway that I want to do in December. And you guys, you have already been so super generous. It has already exceeded my expectations. There are several of you, Ruth, Crystal, gosh, I don't remember everybody's name, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to leave anyone out, but anyone who has donated, honestly, thank you so much. Anything that I get is going to be put towards postage, basically, for the giveaway that I want to do in December. And I will have more details about that coming in the next week or so, I hope. I wanted to get the logbook out of the way. That was kind of a big project that I'd been working on and, you know, trying to refine and get it to where I thought, you know, it was useful. Because that's honestly was my thinking behind it was, you know, not only can I make it useful for everyone, but, well, not everyone. Everyone's not going to use it. I get that. But as many people as possible. But also I wanted it to be useful to me because I'm planning on using it. So how was I going to use it and how could I make it look pretty? And yeah. Anyway, so now that that project is off of my plate, I can concentrate on some other things. And now that DP for Vets is underway, that means I can, you know how sometimes the anticipation of something is more work, or I don't know, somehow it feels like more work than once the thing actually gets here. Like I felt like I had more work building up to it, which probably isn't really true. It just felt that way. And now that it's here, it's like, oh, okay, so now it's like my brain can finally go, okay, move on to the next thing. So I got, you know, those two big things out of the way, the logbook and now DP for Vets has started. Already has been amazing. You guys have exceeded my expectations for the people who've already entered. If you haven't entered, again, there will be a link in the description box down below so that you can enter whenever you wish. You can enter up until the last day, as long as you meet all the other entry requirements and, you know, your kit qualifies, then whatever. It needs to be a new start, at least 30 by 30. It can be a partial. And it needs to follow the theme of something to do with Remembrance Day, Veterans Day, something patriotic. So as long as it meets all those criteria and you fill out both the entry and exit forms and you follow me on YouTube, so hit that subscribe button, you'll be entered in the final prize package drawing. So the exit form will open on the 15th and it closes at midnight November 30th. And don't forget, we've switched off of daylight savings. Yay! So that will be midnight Central Standard Time because that's my time zone. So whatever time zone you're in, if you're in a different one, just be aware that that's midnight my time that it closes. Okay. Oh, so the last thing I need to do, let me just put all of this away for a minute, because the last thing that I need to do, and I've talked long enough that this can just be the end of the WIP and chat. I am going to do the drawing for this first week's giveaway. So make sure that you fill out that entry form as soon as possible, because the entry form is what I'm using for the entries for the weekly giveaways. So there'll be 4 weekly giveaways. This is week 1. So let me just zoom out a little bit here, so when I do the drawing, it's not quite in everyone's face. Okay, so I have done what I usually do, and that is that I have entered everyone into my little decision wheel that has filled out the entry form. So I'm just going to spin the wheel and we'll see who wins. So here we go, week 1 giveaway, and the winner is Kimberly Span. So congratulations, Kimberly. If you will check the box down below, you will find my email. It's diamondpaintinganonymous@gmail.com, and send me your an email with your shipping information so that I can get the giveaway shipped to you. It's just a box filled with some diamond painting supplies that I will be sending. And you guys, I would tell you what's in it, but I actually packed all 4 of them like a week ago, and I don't honestly remember what's in each one, other than I know it's diamond painting related stuff. So yeah, it'll be a surprise to you and me what you get, because I don't remember. But anyway, so Kimberly, congratulations, and don't forget to send me an email so that I can get that shipped out to you. If you'd like to participate, again, find the link down below, put yourself in the entry form so that you can be entered. If you win a weekly giveaway, that means you will not be eligible for any of the future weekly giveaways. However, winning a weekly giveaway does not make you ineligible for the final prize. So even if you win a weekly prize, you can only win one of those, but you still are also in the drawing for the final prize package. And that won't be until after the event ends, obviously, and I can gather all of those entries and make sure that everybody's followed all of the official rules. So there you go. That's it for me today, guys. Thanks for sticking around till the end of the video. And again, a huge thank you to everyone who has donated for the logbook. I super, super appreciate it. And that means I'm going to get to do the 12 Days of Christmas giveaway that I want to do. I still have details to work out, and I'll be sharing that. But yeah, just happy that you guys found it useful and that you found it useful enough to donate. So I appreciate that. Before you leave, guys, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.